It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal by my side. Not a lot of games left in the regular season, but there are still a few teams whose fates have yet to be determined. And coming right up, we'll see the Utah Jazz playing against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, they're sitting at 500 over the last 10 games, kind of treading water. They'd really like to make a splash over the next few games. You look at how the Jazz have been playing the past few seasons, and obviously, defense has been key for them. But what other changes have allowed them to find their footing again in the Western Conference?
Well, the big change has been they cleared the way for that young front court, Ernie. You know, they made some trades, and they made everyone giving those guys opportunities to grow and learn, and a commitment to Favors and Gobert. That is something to build around.
There's been a huge change in the team mentality under Coach Snyder. You're starting to see some of that toughness that people associate with the Utah Jazz. Karl Malone and John Stockton, they're back.
Do you like jazz, by the way?
No.
You don't like jazz music? You don't like?
I'm a hip-hop guy, Ernie.
I bet you like some jazz.
I love me some Herbie Hancock.
And
I love some George Benson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I love my favorite song was Mr. Magic.
I like some Dave. I like me some Dave Brubeck, the old piano. I like that.
See, you know jazz. See, you know it. Hey.
You know who else knows jazz? Big jazz fan, Kevin Harlan.
From suburban Detroit, we proudly bring you the Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Kevin Harlan here along with analysts Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, and we'll be hearing from DA along the sideline all game long. And this game marks the start of a road trip here for the Jazz. A dismal season right now. Only two teams below them in the Western Conference.
Kevin, in recent games, their luck has been all bad and tough. I mean, that could very well continue against the team they're facing here in this game. It's not going to be easy to end this streak.
And Steve, every game so crucial here in the end part of the season. One loss can determine whether or not you are in the playoffs.
And that is tough. And you see it coming down to, hey, these two teams are jockeying one game out of playoffs, another team one game out of this position. That one game win or loss could be back, looking way back like in December or October. That's where you lost it.
Bad wins can creep and come back and bite you.
Yes.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Hill pairs up with Hood in the backcourt. Favors and Gobert, the defensive big men pair. And it's Hayward in at the 3. They set the screen. Harris passes to Prez. Basket counts.
Simply astounding work inside. Prez getting the ball in his sweet spot and just doing his thing down there.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, I was able to speak with Quinn Snyder just before the game. He's looking to even the season series with a win tonight. He told me he knows his team can play better than they did the last time, and he thinks with the strong defense and shot blocking, they can make things difficult at that end of the floor. We'll see if they can impose their will tonight. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, Dave, thanks. From the defensive approach, guys, how do you think that'll play out here?
You know, sounds like they'd like to keep this a low-scoring affair. This could be one of those grind-it-out kind of games.
They like to control the pace, and defensively they can do that. They take away a lot of options. They just muck it up.
Detroit shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And when you think of free throw shooting, not particularly a strength for this group, right around 70%.
Hood can't get it to go.
Because he's such an explosive force down low, the defense threw everything they had at him, and it worked.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Drummond. Pistons passing it around. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. That one, no good. Excellent D there from Hill. The dish to Favors. Hood, the pass to Hill. Favors at the elbow. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
On that play, you gotta trust your teammates. Instead of forcing that one, just pass it.
Now here's Prez. A 35-point game for him in the win against the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
And his defense was absolutely outstanding, especially his two blocks, which helped turn the game.
The Pistons shooting their second and third free throws tonight. No good on that one. He's off on the second. Jazz have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And a wide open look for Hood. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Hood's got his first points of the game.
The precise passing ability of Hayward, really a luxury for this team.
Pass to Drummond. That one goes in.
When you start talking about experience, you talk about Coach Snyder. He coached at the college level, the minor league level, overseas, and now in the NBA. He brings a lot of experience to this game for the Utah Jazz.
Here's Hill after the made shot from Andre Drummond. Hill kicks to Favors. And the basket is good. Favors got 6. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Jackson dishes to Prez. And stolen by Hood. In transition, here come the Jazz. Outside Favors. And that one is off. Excellent D there from Prez. And Quinn Snyder, a former point guard at Duke and a lot of stops in his coaching career. He's learned under some greats.
Yeah, this is his coaching tree that he's learned under. Coach K, Greg Popovich, Mike D'Antoni, just to name a few. His experience learning so many different systems has bode well for him.
So it's Utah now, following the bucket by the Pistons. Gobert, the screen. And Favors kicks to Hood. 5 to shoot. Favors with the screen. Jacks up a 3. Hood gets the bucket. Hood's got his second basket of the game.
Really have to like Hood's decision making. In pick and roll sets, he always makes the right call.
Caldwell Pope outside. Prez kicks to Jackson. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. Now to take a look at the steal numbers over the last couple months, the scope of that for Favors.
I feel like he hasn't been paying as much attention to the defensive aspect of the game as he needs to. His steals have dropped over the past few months, and he needs to get back some of that fire on D.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Knocks it loose. Clock at 6. And stolen by Favors. And the basket for the 4th time from the field. He's a healthy 4 for 6.
Favors is a huge guy that absorbs contact. A true master at getting his shots off in the midst of really intense defense. Beasting on defense. First he closes out hard on the shooter, then he attacks the glass. Filthy.
Pistons trailed by 5. It's stolen by Hill. Inside, here's Gobert. It's hauled in by Harris. For Detroit, they've gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Here's Prez. Offline with his 3.
Not good shot selection. Long range and a defender all up in your jersey.
If you're the defender, you're like, yes, take that shot. I'll play the percentages.
Now here is Hill. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. 6 to shoot. Gobert the screen. Hood for 3. Utah the rebound. And it's off the back rim. No good. The Pistons shooting it from their comfort zone so far in this one. 57% from the field. Prez kicks to Drummond. True on the 14-footer. Drummond's got 6.
Incredible fadeaway shot there. The defense was, come on, let's go.
Is anyone else tired of watching Hayward make plays? We have got to slow him down. He's camping out in our paint and he's getting easy looks. I want us fronting him in the paint. Be active out there and deny the entry pass. No easy buckets now, all right? We got this.
Count the numbers.
The Pistons trailing. Jackson and KCP are in the backcourt together. Andre Drummond is out there with Prez, and it's Bielitsa in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Detroit right now. Prez, no good. That would have tied it. Utah shooting 39% from the floor. Not their best. Well, with Exum and Hood, the Jazz have the option to play a huge lineup with their shortest player, Exum, standing 6'6", at that point guard position. Steve, how does their size create problems for teams?
It could be a nightmare because you have guys with length, height, they can deflect shots, and they're able to switch. That's what this league is coming down to. Multiple defenders that can switch and play multiple positions.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Prez in their last game against the Cavaliers was all business. He scored 35 points and was his usual dominant self on the glass. He put up great numbers in a terrific effort. It's not a game that anyone wanted to miss. And he'll be looking for a repeat performance tonight, Kevin.
Appreciate it, Dave. Thanks. Well, we've seen a lot of great players have a lot of great games, but that was something special.
And I love that no matter what approach they tried against him, nothing worked. I mean, he was ready for everything.
I am looking forward to watching this game again.
Here's Hill, following the score by Reggie Jackson. Hill passes to Hayward. Lets the 3 fly. That one doesn't go. And Detroit the other way now. Coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
And what got them that win was the remarkable success they had from the floor. I mean, just a tremendous shooting performance all the way around.
Well, the shooting percentages definitely jumped right out at you. They really shot the ball at an impressive clip in that game, and that's because of how they move the ball.
Caldwell Pope outside. Back to Jackson. Pass to Prez. Caldwell Pope right side for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Caldwell Pope's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Hill with it. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change.
I like that shot for him, though. Very little defensive pressure. He typically rises up and buries that.
Prez, no good.
If his shots were just a little more on point tonight, they'd be holding a much bigger lead right now.
Hood kicks to Favors. Here's Gobert. Rebound by the Pistons. Last time they met was in Utah where they beat the Jazz.
And that last one came right down to the wire. The difference for me being the impact they got from their bench.
Having that spark off the bench really helped them the last time these two teams battled. We'll see if it'll be there for them again.
Here's Hill, following the score by Reggie Jackson. Favors dishes to Gobert. The Jazz working the ball around now. Hill passes to Favors. And it's sent back by Drummond. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond. The Pistons making a change here. Harris is checked in. And so it's Utah here with the ball. They trail by 3. Hood gets the bucket.
Quick trigger. Hood piercing the defense with the effective catch-and-shoot J.
And arguably the league's best rim protector, Rudy Gobert, 7'2", wingspan of 7'9". Steve, that's not bad. Great tools for the trade.
Yeah, on his toes, he can touch the rim, and he moves well for his size. He gets off the floor and a quick second jumper. He has work to do to get stronger, but he's only getting more and more intimidated when he keeps playing.
Now Hayward. After the missed 3 from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Gobert with a screen on Jackson. In the corner, it's Hayward. Just 5 to shoot. And no good. Some solid defense from Harris. Detroit's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Prez kicks to Jackson. Hill with some nice D. Utah trailing here. Feeds it to Gobert. Dishes to Favors. It's tipped.
Look at Perez rise up for the timely block. So good at reading the opposition and getting high in those rejections.
Ball's knocked loose, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. Smith checked in for Caldwell Pope. Max checked in for Utah. For Utah, they've gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. Outside Favors, looking to get back on track here. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. Derrick Favors, a gifted defender with a 7'4" arm span, great wingspan. Steve, he logs a high rate of blocks and steals. And so that brings the first half to a close. Pistons ahead, up by 10. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here was Stan Van Gundy. Coach, you trailed early on, but what changed to get your guys into a rhythm?
You know, we just kept fighting. I don't know what changed. We just started playing. Our guys will keep playing. I know that.
Thanks for your time, Stan. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
Good work, guys. Bring it in. Have a seat. Listen up. We have these guys back on their heels, and now they're playing like they're desperate. Do not take your foot off the gas, gentlemen. This is our game. Come on!
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. We're seeing a tremendous game so far from Marcus Morris.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
Just awesome on-court awareness, knowing when to take it to the hole as well as dish it out. That's why he is such a crucial member to this team.
At a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So on the floor for Utah, a tall wing pair with Hood at the 2 and Hayward at the small forward. Favors and Gobert, the defensive big men pair. And it's Hill in at the point guard position. Prez with the bucket.
What persistence from Prez, keeping after it, even when the aggressive D smothering him.
Jazz trail by 12. Hill kicks to Favors. Favors sets the pick for Hood. Takes the 3, and it's Hayward. That time on the assist by Hill. 7 points for Gordon Hayward.
It's impossible to stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
Here's Jackson. He's been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game. Here's Drummond. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And Smitty, when you were a young player in the league and taking on the great legends of the 90s, were there any games where you were just in awe of who you were on the court facing?
A lot, Kevin, but some names that come to mind was first Michael Jordan, going up against the great Michael Jordan. A lot of people say they played against Michael, but he played the 2-guard position,
right at
and
you,
I had to guard him, and he was guarding me. And then growing up in Detroit, got a chance to work out with Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and then compete against these guys. Those are the 3 names that come to mind. I think those are the 3 that really had an influence on my game.
And the single most difficult guy for you to cover?
By far, I couldn't cover him. That was Michael Jordan.
And who was a guy that was the best defensive player on you, guarding you?
And he was a teammate of mine, so a lot in practice. But then when we got traded and separated, Stacey Altman, the plastic man, was the guy I had problems with.
And here is Hill. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Lets it go with the 3. Kept alive. And slam dunk by Gobert.
Gobert using that 7'1" frame well on the glass, utilizing his size.
Caldwell Pope outside. Jackson against Hill. Jackson dishes to Prez. And stolen by Hayward. To the middle. And it's Hill penetrating. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And free throw shooting, not necessarily one of his strong suits, only about 70% on the season.
And a huge jump in the salary cap this season, Steve. And next year it really goes up by more than $40 million, probably in the next 2 years.
That's phenomenal.
Isn't that something?
Now a lot of these teams will get a chance to add even more players that can help their teams.
Jazz trail by 7. To the paint. Here's Favors. Excellent D there from Prez.
Okay, that lay-in. He's tricky, but the defense was just too tight on him.
Here is on. Deflects the pass. And there's the call on Gordon Hayward. That's his first foul.
And still early in the period, and they're only one foul away from being over the limit.
Jazz on D. Jackson kicks to Prez. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Just really fantastic manipulation of the D by Prez. So skilled at drawing these type of fouls.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Did he lay an egg at the stripe in their previous game? Couldn't get anything to drop.
Boris Diaz checked in for Derrick Favors. Both free throws good from Prez. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Hill kicks to Dial. And it's sent back by Drummond. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy. Hill's got 5. Pistons leading by 6. And the pass to Prez. And Drummond kicks to Jackson. Prez with the ball. Dial on him. Prez no good. For Utah, they've gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. It's stolen by Prez. Jumps up. Prez finishing off the play with the dunk. He won't miss many of those.
And you can just see him psyching himself up after a play like that. Nice slam by Prez.
Hayward outside. Back to Diaw. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Hayward's got his 3rd assist on the night.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Jackson passes to Prez. It's stolen by Prez. He has a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Guys, the Utah Jazz is one of the up-and-coming teams in the West, and it was a system-wide commitment to young players. The younger teams tend to struggle, but head coach Quinn Snyder said he's committed to letting his players learn through their mistakes. He said it may be painful at times, but that's how we get better. In a lot of things, the only way to learn is through experience. Guys?
They're catching on quickly, thanks, D.A.
If you're trying to figure out why these guys can't catch up, this inconsistent shooting is a good place to start.
The Pistons working the ball around now. Caldwell Pope, another 3 for Detroit.
You never want to give him an open look from outside because he will flat out burn you from there.
Utah calls timeout. Steve, you won a sportsmanship award that is revered by so many.
Hey, this is what happens when we play our brand of basketball. They cannot stop us. Just keep squeezing that orange juice, gentlemen.
In the league to talk to. We see other players like, Kevin Garnett, Russell Westbrook, a little bit more fiery. What are the advantages to either approach?
It is. I mean, it's just preference. I was a guy who was kind of fiery, like a lot of talkative, but I think also just like those guys, we get a chance to know more about them off the court. They are good guys. You have different depositions on the floor than off. And I like Kevin Garnett and Russell Westbrook, totally different off the court.
I know Garnett. He is as good a guy as there is.
He is. He's first class. Now on the court,
tough competitor.
He'll go at you.
He will.
Just like Russell.
Yes. And some great passing here so far. Let's check out this chart that breaks down where the assists have been coming from for the Pistons.
Well, you love to see your front court that really is so gifted with the ball. Great vision, court awareness. They have been a major part of the offensive flow in this game, and what a luxury to have bigs that can pass.
Jazz trail by 9. Now, here's Exum. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Johnson outside. Gobert, the screen. From downtown, Detroit with the rebound. Perez has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Johnson in the corner. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. Utah's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Johnson the screen. To the inside. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. The Jazz making a switch here. Withy's checked in. Here's Mack. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Johnson.
And Mack is a bigger guard who uses his size to draw these fouls. Just very crafty in finding ways to draw the defense into him. And Mack drops them both. Here's Smith. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Johnson kicks to Smith. Inside. Here's Lure. And finished off by Lure.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
If you aren't going to at least step in front of him, you can't be surprised when he throws it down like that.
And he comes up with the deuce.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And Mack kicks to Johnson. Mack dishes to Johnson. Takes a 3. The shot misses. Now the Pistons take it the other way.
Okay, his shot isn't there tonight. It's a major reason why they're behind. He needs to start sharing the basketball.
Johnson kicks to Morris. He feeds it to Smith. Lock at 6. Perez passes to Lue. Got a hand on it. There's 53 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Exum dishes to Withy. Launches a 3. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Exum.
Sweet looking jumper from Dante. A part of his game he continues to work on.
Perez with the ball. Johnson's there. Morris with the bucket.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Now here's Mack. We're covering. Here's Withy. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's his first trip to the line.
And with the free throw percentage hovering around 70, he knows he has to bring that up.
Hill, he's checked in for Detroit. Ialita comes in for Marcus Morris. And Utah also making a switch. Derrick Favors checked in for Joe Johnson. Pistons leading by 9. Smith kicks to Perez. He dishes it to Hill. Here's Perez. Another shot, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Pistons have hit 4 of 8 from the free throw line so far. Folks, that's 50%. Not great work there. Free throw drops for Hill. Both free throws good from Hill. 8 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Hayward on the wing. Off on that one. And as we end the 3rd quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Pistons lead by 11. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the 4th quarter next. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. here for Detroit. Prez comes in for Jordan Hill. And Tobias Harris subbed in for Bielitsa. Then for the Jazz, Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Hayward. And it's Dante Exum in for George Hill. On the wings, Caldwell, Pope, and Harris. Prez out there with Andre Drummond. And it's Jackson in at the point. That's the group for Detroit right now. Exum's shot is off.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
And for his career, Gobert has averaged better than 50% from the field, an efficient scorer in the post.
There's the pick. Back to Jackson. Six on the shot clock. The feed to Prez. From deep. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Johnson kicks to Gobert. Fade away, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Now just a 5-point Piston lead. Jackson passes to Prez. Caldwell Pope against Hood. Kicks to Jackson. To the right side. Here's Drummond. Detroit, no good that time either. Jazz trail by 5. Hood dishes to Exum. Gobert with a screen on Jackson. Exum with a wide open look. And the 3 off target. Detroit's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Pass to Drummond. Deflects the pass and stolen by Hood. Johnson wide open. He fires. Second chance shot, and it's good. Brought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
They've cashed in on a lot of second chance opportunities here in the second half. That extra effort will help them cut into this deficit.
Detroit making a switch here. Smith is checked in, and Utah with a change here too. Hill's checked in. Harris kicks to Drummond, and he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
And this team is ahead largely because of his accuracy from the floor tonight.
And that one misses. Jazz trail by 4. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Caldwell Pope.
And always a bit of risk on those long passes. Lucky the D couldn't come up with it there.
So it's Utah now. Outside Hill. Here's Hood. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 6 assists now in the game.
When this team is looking for a bucket, they turn to Rodney Hood. Just a remarkable player who's ready to score at any moment.
And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. Favors. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Utah. And the first one at the line is good.
Gotta commend Prez, a fast learner who continues to improve with each passing game.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. And there's the call on Tobias Harris. That's his first foul.
Yeah, a bit over eager right there. Left his feet too early.
Jazz trail by 3. Johnson the screen. Now Hill. Hayward outside. Releases from 15. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Hayward's got 4 points this quarter.
Hayward's team looks to him to score in these situations. Just a gutsy player who takes these challenges head on.
And the basket is good.
That's what Prez does. You need a big bucket. He knows how to deliver.
Utah has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Gobert with a screen on Harris. The dish to Johnson. Hood with it. Now guarded by Prez. Hood. Good D by Drummond.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face. space there and made that much more difficult.
And that kind of terrier defense is crucial to any team's success. Gotta defend the paint.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
And you can see one team is working hard on the glass and the other not.
Hayward outside. And it's sent back by Drummond. Prez with the ball. Let's go. That shot is in, just like 6 others have been for him. He's shooting 7 for 15.
And to Prez, it doesn't matter if the D is there. He's burying the shot in their faces no matter what.
Gobert the screen. Hayward from outside. Hayward missing again. Pistons have gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth, right around 46-47%. Caldwell Pope with it, now guarded by Hood. Drummond passes to Smith. Count it. And now it's a 9-point Detroit lead.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
I mean, the game is in hand, but they're still running their offense, and they're just...
I like what I see out there, fellas. We're playing like we wanted more than them.
In for Tobias Harris, and it's Johnson in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. The Jazz also changing it up with he's checked in for Gobert. Diaw comes in for Gordon Hayward, and Max subbed in for Hood. Diaw the screen to halt the run. The 3 from Johnson. That one no good. The Pistons go the other way with it. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game play. Prez dishes to Lewis. Diaw with the steal.
Just too much of a deficit to overcome.
No question. Nothing short of a miracle could save him now.
17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And so they foul intentionally. Seconds left in the fourth, and so they choose to intentionally foul. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game.
Well, that's how we play the game. Bring it in. Let's go.
15 seconds left in the game. Guys, what's your take?
And look, this one's out of reach. I don't know what they're thinking with this timeout.
Well, maybe the coach just wants a chance to try out a new play here. But I agree, this one is over.
15 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Prez kicks to Johnson. Free throw line jump shot. Diaw with the steal. Misses. And so the Pistons take the win. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Prez.
He was abusing guys inside. Came in with the scoring mindset. He used his big body to root out people inside, and then he made great finishes.
His defensive presence made a big difference in the game, guys. He blocked a number of shots and affected plenty more that he didn't actually get his hand on, but they were looking for him.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.